Are you thinking of moving to Redmond, Washington, but you don't know if it's the right place for you? Well, this video, I'm going to give you the 5 cons of living in Redmond, Washington. What's up, everybody? My name is Toba Williamson. I am a local real estate agent in the Seattle metro area. In this channel, I shoot tons of videos of what it's like to live here. So if you're thinking about moving to Seattle, Redmond, or any of the metro area and buying a house, give me a call, email, text. We got your back when you're moving to Seattle. So in this video, we are talking about 5 cons of living in Redmond, Washington. So Redmond, it's a super popular city on the east side. So the east side is east of Seattle. That's why it's called the east side, and east of Bellevue. So it's right here. We got Redmond right here. You've got Bellevue, you've got Seattle. So it's just along 520 right here, and then sits just north of Lake Sammamish. So overall, it's actually a really popular place to live. Microsoft is located here, so a lot of people actually work at Microsoft and then live in Redmond. It's best of both worlds. You don't have to commute as much, but there are some cons to living here too. So we're just gonna dive right on in. So number one is the cost of living. So again, popular place, really highly rated schools. A lot of people want to live here, not a lot of housing. It just makes prices really high then. So Redmond is no exception. House prices are pretty high here. Median price, you're looking at about 1.4 for a single family home, and then you're looking at about $669 for condos, median price. So definitely not a cheap place to live. You're going to be looking over $1 million easy for a single family home. And even, even some like fancy condos and stuff, you can spend probably over $1 million too. And a lot of those homes, like if you're looking just even in the million range, maybe 900, $1 million, they're going to be like total fixer homes that are just like, they need total renovating. So you're really going to have to spend like 1.2, 1.3 to get something that's like more move-in ready and pretty like, yeah, turnkey and ready to live in. So just be prepared for that. Some people have major sticker shock when they're moving here. They hear about the Redmond and the east side and they want to live here, and then it's kind of out of budget. So just know that about the area. Not only is housing expensive, but gas is expensive, groceries are expensive, just all of it, it all adds up. So it's definitely not like the cheapest place to live in the area, but there is a reason why it is so expensive, because there's just so many people that want to live in the area. So cost of living is up there. Number 2 con is traffic. So just this whole area during rush hour, it's just traffic is tough. If you're lucky enough to work at Microsoft in Redmond and then live in Redmond, you're not going to have to deal with it quite as much. I mean, you're still on the surface streets, you've got it. But if you're commuting into either Bellevue or Seattle or anywhere else, you're going to be dealing with the freeways. You're going to have to be just dealing with that traffic. And again, I'll pull it up here on the map. If you are living in Redmond and have to commute into Seattle to work, 520 is probably going to be your way to get in. 520 bridge that goes over Lake Washington right here is a toll bridge. So just be prepared for that. You're going to pay, it depends. If you have the good to go pass, it's like a sticker you put on your car, you'll pay like $2-3, maybe $4, maybe higher during rush hour. They like charge more during peak times. So you get a discount versus if you don't have that pass and you're just paying by mail and they mail you a thing. So definitely if you're going to be commuting, get that pass, but that's just an added expense too, something to consider. Another way to get into Seattle is taking 405 to I-90, which is not tolled, but 405 is just terrible. It's just always backed up, and then you're like getting on I-90, or like anytime you're just changing freeways, that gets all clustered and backed up. So it's just rough getting around if you're going to be doing the whole commute thing. It's just not fun. And then you've got 520 that just basically like ends in Redmond too. So that's always like a fun just traffic jam right there where it ends. So just something to think about if you're going to be driving. It's all still very car centric too. There is the light rail that is coming to Seattle, or I'm sorry, coming to Redmond. It's already in Seattle. It's coming down through Bellevue, but the new light rail, it's coming this year, 2024. It's supposed to open coming along I-90 and then going up, and it will stop in the Redmond Technology Center where Microsoft and a lot of the tech companies are. So that's supposed to open this year, and then the second phase will be into downtown Redmond actually, and that will be next year, 2025. So light rail is coming. That will be a way to get around. If you're commuting into Seattle, you can take that light rail a little bit better, a little more stress-free. So that's something to look forward to, but traffic still not the best in Redmond. So number 3 con is the weather. The weather's no secret in this whole Puget Sound area. We get pretty bad rain, pretty bad gloomy skies. I mean, even this picture, like look at all the clouds. This is like downtown Redmond kind of area. So it's just a fact of life here. You're going to deal with clouds, rainy weather, probably like sometimes even like October, November through March, April, May, June sometimes. I mean, even the 4th of July can be pretty cold and rainy sometimes. So it just really depends, but there's something to prepare for, something to just, yeah, like mentally prepare for. The gloom is what gets it. The rain, it's not really like that rainy, that bad all the time, but just the gloomy weather, I think, starts to really wear on people. And around this time, like it's March right now, but around like February, March is when it's like, okay, it starts really getting to you. You're just like, enough already. I need some warm weather. So I always say plan a warm weather vacation if you can in like February, March to kind of break that up. So it's not quite as bad, but cloudy weather here is no joke, especially if you're moving from a sunnier, less rainy place. I think it will be shocking to a lot of people, but it's just part of life here is what it is. We wouldn't have this like lush, beautiful greenery everywhere if we didn't have the rain. So you have to appreciate it a little bit. So number 4 con may not always be a con either, depending on your lifestyle, but not a huge nightlife scene in Redmond. It's definitely kind of a more family-friendly area. Again, some people are like, hey, awesome, I got a family. I don't want to be partying. I don't want to hear people partying. This is great. So it just really depends on what you're looking for in your life, but it's a very kind of sleepy area. Even the downtown, like there's quite a few restaurants and fun little places to go, but they close down around like 8 or 9. I mean, it's just not the most like crazy happening place, which again might be good for some people, might be bad, it just depends. But if you're moving here and wanting just a crazy scene, it's not going to be Redmond. It's a little sleepier. You'll need to go to either Kirkland, Bellevue, or Seattle for that, especially concerts, sporting events, things like that. You're still going to be going into Seattle for that kind of stuff. So just something to plan for and prepare for. Again, I mean, in Redmond, you have everything you need. You've got all your grocery stores and even shopping centers and strip malls with a Target and, you know, TJ Maxx or whatever else. Like for day to day, you're totally covered here. But, you know, you just might start getting sick of the same old 5, 6 restaurants that you go to all the time to branch out. So you might just have to head over to the city for some of that. But otherwise, not the worst thing in the world. It's still a pretty nice area. Number 5 con is there's a pretty good deal of construction going on in Redmond. I know it just like drives a lot of people nuts, especially the downtown area. I mean, this is some of the downtown. These are like new apartments that have gone up and there's a bunch of new ones being built. There's cranes all over the place. With that construction, it just comes, they like close roads off sometimes. Like, so sometimes, especially if you're living downtown, trying to get out and around, it's kind of a pain. Or if you live in the suburbs of Redmond and you're trying to get to the downtown, it can be kind of a pain in the rear end. So that's just something to keep in mind. Constructions, I mean, it's not going to last forever, but it's just something that it's dealing with now. Redmond's definitely growing and trying to build more infrastructure and build more housing for people with all the people moving here. So with that, there's just a lot of construction, a lot of noise, just kind of that not fun thing. So just something to consider, especially if you're wanting to move into downtown Redmond area where these are. You might just be dealing with a lot more construction, noise, dust, traffic, all of that. So those are the top 5 cons in Redmond. Still, I think for what they are, they're not really even that bad either. Redmond is still a really popular area. It's still a great place to live. So don't let these cons scare you. So if you're thinking about moving to Redmond or anywhere else in the Seattle metro area, give us a call.